Hi, are you sick and tired of paying hundreds of dollars a month for cable or dish? GNR TV is your answer. These guys have an incredible 100% legal product that is a cord cutter's dream. For as low as $25 a month, you will get over 400 HD channels, including all major sports packages, pay per views, premium movies, and entertainment. To get started, all you need is a streaming device, such as an Amazon Fire Stick, internet, and a desire to save a ton of cash. No contracts, no credit checks, no hidden fees. I myself have been a subscriber, and I must say this service is amazing. To learn more, search GNR TV on Facebook or Instagram, and I will also be posting a link on my pages to check out on my podcast website. Lastly, for first-time subscribers, use promo code SIR30 to save $5 for your first month. GNR TV, streaming done right.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of almost all ages, with parental consent, the sick twisted minds at Sacrificial Pond Productions brings you a new style of horror film, like nothing you have seen before. There are no cops, no investigations. There is no backstory, no follow-up of the victims who were brutally tortured and murdered. Our story isn't about them. Normal Terror is about a single dad struggling to make ends meet. His son is his first priority. He goes to work, pays his bills, and is generally a great dad. The twist comes after he puts his son to bed. This is where he releases his stress. Some people do yoga, some hit the gym, some go for runs, some people paint on a canvas. An anonymous source once wrote on an abandoned asylum wall, "I never understood people until I took one apart just to see how it worked." If you are rear-ended in traffic, most people's thought runs to anger and their primal instincts of hurting the other party. Sam Neill does not have the ability to stop that primal instinct. Let us take you into the mind of a killer. Normal Terror is a concept from the mind of Sam Mason, who wrote, directed, produced, and is starring in this new age feature film.
Let's get slicing and dicing with Sir Sturdy horror fans. On this podcast, you will hear me and a guest do some movie reviews, random funny horror chats, and whatever else comes to mind. So tune in, kick back, relax, and always remember, I'll see you in your nightmares.
Well, just Jason's mask.
How's it going, everybody? Another episode of Horror with Sir Sturdy. Rhiannon's back. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. And then we got Nightmare Shop team back. Greg and John, how you guys doing?
What up? We're
So
doing
good.
We're doing really good.
So good.
And we're actually doing an excellent, classic, beautifully done movie. It's almost a love story, but it's not. And the movie is Friday the 13th, Part 7. And I believe it was Greg's choice, or John's, I forgot. Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, it was my choice.
Gutsy Greg all the way.
It was something I had, I watched the Friday the 13th pretty often, but like New Blood, sometimes I tend to, I don't know why. After watching it, I'm like, man, I need to watch this movie more often.
You do.
But I, for whatever reason, this is one of the Friday the 13th I kind of watched the least amount of.
Same here. And same thing when I watched it. Man, this fucking movie, first of all, you were 100% right. It totally is a love story between Nick and their forbidden love. Totally Romeo and Juliet.
Which, by the way, Nick is a class act dude the whole time.
Stand-up guy.
Yeah.
He's like Christopher Walken, man. Stand-up guy.
He really is.
Christopher Walken.
He's a great guy. And as a matter of fact,
This movie had vicious kills that
Yes.
a lot of people talk about that aren't even necessarily huge horror fans and can't even reference where they came from. And they're in this fucking movie. Get right into it. Sleeping bag kill.
yes,
Yeah.
classic.
That got
Pretty cool.
back in Jason X.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
think they know it from there. And it's like, well, that was a premonition of this movie.
Classic kill. And I actually got the chance, I told you guys before, to sit on a panel with well, I'll say their movie names Tina, Doctor Dickhead, and what was the guy's name again? Jean Jacket.
Oh, Nick.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
Those fucking awesome, fun, awesome, funny.
That is fucking cool. Lar Park Lincoln.
Yes, her.
She played Tina, and she did an episode same year as this movie came out of Freddy's Nightmares.
Oh.
That was like one season. And they did like what, maybe anywhere from 8 to 15 episodes. I'm not 100% sure. And it was cool that she was able to lead, be a lead role in a Friday the 13th movie, and the same year,
That's awesome.
have that nightmare.
And I noticed that a lot with Friday the 13th because the director for Jason Lives, I think Tom McLaughlin, he directed a couple Freddy's Nightmares as well.
Oh.
And so it's kind of cool like that,
Wasn't Sean Cunningham asked to do one too?
I don't know if he directed or if he helped write a couple.
I know he was approached.
Yeah. But it's just cool that both of those, huge
Franchises.
Mount Rushmore faces of horror, like kind of coincide with each other like that.
Fuck yeah.
Now, when was
I liked how they cut his head right off.
Oh yes.
That was a cool kill.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was an awesome.
He kills like 492 people in this movie. It's fucked up.
It's crazy too because if you watch some of the stuff, like man, what Kane Hodder kind of brought to Jason and like the different stunts that he was able to do in this movie. Like at one point, a whole like porch falls on Kane, and there's another scene where he's like falling through the steps backwards.
Yeah, dude. He fucking gets hung by a fucking cord off the lamp.
He's like electrocuted in a puddle.
He gets set on fire. Fuck, man.
He's amazing. He's amazing at what he does. That's why he's the best Jason that ever lived. But not everybody agrees with that.
But that's okay.
I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for C.J. Graham, and that is not to take away from Kane Hodder by any means, but I really enjoy because I really like Kane Hodder. But like part of it's like after seeing the Hatchets, I just think Kane Hodder is such a tremendous Victor Crowley, and those movies are super brutal and over the top. And I don't know, I just feel like there's more. I guess personality to Victor Crowley, and Kane Hodder has more freedom with that character.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to like him more as Victor Crowley.
And he is Victor Crowley.
Yeah, that he definitely is.
I've played Victor Crowley. There's been 4 of those movies, and he's done them all.
Yeah.
And he's done what, 4 Friday the 13th? So
Yep.
they go one more. Like, how can you not agree with saying he's more valuable to that series than Friday the 13th? Because Friday the 13th is hugely successful before and after Kane Hodder.
I agree, but he's the only one who donned the mask more than one time, like you said, 4
Sure.
times. And it's just, I feel like with part 7, that's the first one he was in, he brought so much emotion and just with his body language and everything, because obviously Jason's a silent character, so I know all his lines, but he brings so much emotion with everything, like so much anger, just... And as I was telling you guys earlier, one thing I love with the Friday the 13th franchise is when Jason throws people through fucking windows. I don't know what it is about that, but that's one of my favorite parts of the movies. When he's throwing somebody through a window, grabbing somebody through a window, and in part 7, he threw someone through a window and he jumped through a window. So that was just like,
Dude,
hell yeah.
When she hit the ground in this movie after being thrown through said window, she was instantly dead. They didn't even pan back to her. She wasn't like stuck up in the tree like Mike was. She was just dead.
Oh, she hit that ground hard.
Did. He threw her with such force. They had to slow it down to show it.
He was mad, though. You figure you got to walk around that whole camp, go up all them damn stairs. And then he's mad. He's hungry. Nobody ever offers him anything to eat. Think about it. Someone's coming to your house, pretty much, your woods, and they're partying, having sex, drinking, swimming. And nobody offers you anything. They just take over like it's theirs. They deserve what they get. Don't feel bad for them.
They all deserve it.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. Like, I mean, these dudes are like roaming around on his freaking land.
Put it this way. But just imagine some teenagers coming to your guy's house right now, and just partying like outside all day, the whole weekend. Not even inviting you, not giving you a drink. They're outside smoking weed, don't offer you nothing.
That's bullshit.
Oh,
Exactly.
they're smoking weed? Let's get right to the point.
Talking bullshit.
Eating fried chicken and all that good stuff, ravioli, all that. And they're just doing it. Huh?
You know, this kind of brings up a point too, because Jason is like this survivalist. You know, like he survives off the land. He lives off the land. I'm assuming he's a decent hunter because he's pretty decent with the harpoon / arrow. You know,
He is.
so it's like Leatherface kind of has that mentally handicapped type. You know, I don't know, sometimes people put that on Jason. I think he's more deformed, though, than he is, mentally handicapped, because I don't know how you live on your own in the woods for that long.
That's true.
So I don't know. I just don't think that, I don't know, though. In that sense, obviously he's demonic, and there's something else there that kind of...
And that's the thing. He's like this phantom fucking almost swamp monster who kind of makes his own rules for that genre, you know what I'm saying? His moves are very deliberate. I mean, there's a scene in this movie right when he gets his machete. It's like a POV shot of his hand, and he's creeping on this dude, and he fucking just rams his hand through this motherfucker's back,
and breaks his neck.
Chest, and breaks his neck, and grabs his machete, and it was very deliberate and purposeful and very, very cunning of him. You know what I'm saying? So, I agree. His survivalist skills are just too good. He's just deformed.
I love how
He's just
violent
deformed.
He is. I love how violent and how angry he is with his kills. He just goes for it. There's no dancing around. He doesn't play with Freddy, for example. No, I'm not bashing Freddy, but with Freddy, with his victims, he'll toy with his victims a lot.
Oh yeah,
Jason's
Freddy plays cat and mouse. That's what people who like Freddy like to see people getting fucked up. They're more sociopathic, like me, and people who like and people who like Friday the 13th and sway that way are more a little that person in the grocery store that goes up with a shotgun and shoots someone because they won't take their coupons. They're like, well, fuck this! You're killing everyone! I watched you cut my mom's head off! Right. Exactly. So that's all it is. I love Friday the 13th just as much as the next guy. Everyone knows who's heard this before on previous episodes. You let us come on. Mm-hmm. Love Freddy more than anyone in the horror genre. He's my fave. And I know you do too.
Yep.
That doesn't mean I don't love Jason. No, I'm going to get that across. I feel like we fight so much, and when will it stop?
They need to just love each other and be friends.
That's all you got to do these days, man.
I always in this time it's always WWJD, and what would Jason do?
Right.
And Jason would be like, no, fuck that.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
Jason is just, I don't know. Like I said, I love how violent he is. I don't mind the whole toying with the victims like Freddy does because it's funny. But I also love how Jason, like I said, he just gets straight to the point. He just destroys you, and his kills are freaking. His kills. If you can think of all the slasher movies, which I can't think of every single one right now, he has. If you did a top 10 kill list, Jason's gonna be in that list at least 5 times, if not more.
Yeah,
he's half the list.
I mean, he's a good couple hundred kills, over the second place person. I don't know who's second place. It might be Michael Myers at this point.
I think so.
But he's a good 200 kills over what any of them have done. So that is part of the F-13 franchise. It's more about the kills and it's more about how many kills. Where Freddy's more about hey, we're gonna how fucked up can we get here?
Yep.
Psychopathic.
Now everybody's seen Terrifier, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
That movie right there has one of my favorite kills in it of all time. I don't know if it's my favorite or not, but it's definitely up there, and that's the upside down kill, which we all know and
Vagina
love.
split.
Yes. Hang her upside down and just saws her. That was beautiful.
God, that'd be horrible.
It was beautiful. There was a I remember as it was happening, like looking over at John and being like, holy shit, they're gonna do it, man. They're gonna fucking do it. They're gonna show it, and they're gonna show. This is crazy. We thought about it, and now they're doing it.
The best part about that scene to me is that he didn't cut her all the way through. There's a little bit left connected, and it was just
her nose.
it was just kind of like, oh man, that's even more fucked up. I don't know why it was, but it was a good touch. There's a similar cut in half scene in a movie called Bone Tomahawk. If you guys haven't seen that,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check it out.
This motherfucker in half in front of Kurt Russell, and it's dope.
And they do it with like this fucking dull ass tomahawk.
Ooh.
And so like this like cannibalistic tribe captures these like kind of lawmen, these cowboy lawmen, and in front of like each other, like they like the tribe picks like one by one and like cuts him in half in front of the other person, and the other person, like their friends over there, like throwing up and stuff. The scene's really cool. If you guys haven't seen Bone Tomahawk, you should totally check it out.
I haven't.
David Arquette's in it.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Really good. Patrick Wilson's in it. Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson's fucked up the whole time.
Nicolas Cage is in the movie, is he?
No, Nick Cage is not in this movie.
Right, I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it then. I had to make
He's
sure.
the star.
Because if he's in it.
So bringing back a point, by the way, what are your guys' favorite kills in
man. Well,
in what? I didn't hear the last part.
like in horror movies, like, you know, like, or what's like the one that always comes to mind first, I guess. Maybe not your favorite, but one that you kind of will remember.
Johnny Depp in the waterbed.
Have
you seen the extended version of that kill?
I did, but I can't remember what.
Johnny Depp. Okay, so like the mom comes in.
Oh, he comes back up.
You know, and yeah, he fucking pops back out and like lands on the bed.
Yes.
I don't know why they cut. I think the fucking FDA or whoever that grades that shit said like you gotta take that out, and it was like an NC-17 thing.
Oh, stupid.
They had cuts, and it was too graphic in the 80s, I guess. But
it took 500 gallons of blood for that movie.
That's freaking beautiful.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Wes Craven does tend to do, man, and I really like what's the color that of like the blood color that Wes Craven always had. It's like this dark, like very glossy red, and he does it in a lot of his movies. It's super thick, and he does have a lot of blood in his movies.
Fuck yeah, his movies are fucked up.
We already discussed the Terrifier kill, which I loved.
Oh yeah.
The sleeping bag kill from Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
Another one, a fun one from Jason X, is when the fucking sticks the girl's face in that ice shit or whatever and slams it.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
It's really.
I'm trying to think of some more.
I've always been a huge fan of not Ash. I can't think of his name right now.
Bruce Campbell?
In Alien.
Oh, okay.
The very first like chest buster scene. Because I watched that like when I was a little kid, and I wasn't expecting anything like that. And I know when they directed that movie, Ridley Scott didn't tell the other actors in the room like what was going to happen. So like all the reactions like from those people are kind of like, legit like what the fuck, and it's crazy because like no one said shit. Everyone just backed up and stared at it, So I've always like really enjoyed that kill. It kind of left a mark on me a little bit.
Fuck yeah. I would say, and it's partially because we have it on in the background right now. In Pet Sematary, when Gage gets hit by that 18-wheeler, it's not a kill, but how fucking powerful is that kill? You thought of it and said, oh my god, because it fucking stuck with you, and like everyone that watched that movie or read the book, it probably stuck with them. Yeah. Stephen King just does that.
Yeah, I need to. Speaking of that movie, I need to rewatch that movie. I haven't seen that movie in years.
Oh, dude, it's so good. The first two are so good, and I'm so excited about the remake.
You and me both. I love remakes, so I'm a sucker for remakes. I'll watch it. If it's shit, I'll say it's shit, but I still want more.
Right.
Yeah, is it John Lithgow that's doing the?
Yeah, he's gonna be Judd Crandall.
I think John Lithgow as Judd Crandall will do really good. I think he'll be great.
Right. I'm with you though, Sturdy. Like with the success of like all these franchises, like Friday the 13th, and they've done one remake or reboot. Like just keep making them. You know how many people? You know how much money you would fucking make. You would make enough to keep making them. If you love it that much, do it that. Nightmare on Elm Street. They're doing it with Halloween. They're thinking about doing a second one, or they're already writing a second one.
Nice.
They just came out with a new Hellraiser this year. That was the shit. Just keep fucking making them. Like, what's the deal? You need funding?
I don't mind them at all. Like, don't get me wrong. I would love to see a lot of new ideas and new movies, even a new slasher. I know slasher is such an old genre, but like a new slasher franchise slasher would be awesome. But I still don't mind the remakes and reboots and all that. Just do them right. Friday the 13th. I think if they ever do that again and bring it back, make it in the 80s, please. I don't want it to be in 2019, 2020, and fucking Jason's texting somebody. That's gonna be bullshit. That's gonna piss me off.
I did like the one in 2009?
2009, yeah.
Derek Mears is honestly, I loved his movements and things. He might be my favorite Jason Voorhees. But that one was really good, and they were able to kind of take the technology out of it. And I actually read an article the other day where I forget who it was. I think it was on iHorror or Bloody Disgusting. But this guy was talking about how in horror movies in modern day, you almost have to take the power out or take out the cell reception and make that a focal point in a scene in your movie because you have to eliminate that. Like, okay, cool. Now we're back in the 80s. Or now we're back in the 90s because we don't have phones or internet. So, I think it can be done very good and very right, but you have to, include that part of it.
Another thing that bothered me with that one was there was too much comedy in it for me. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the movie. I went and seen it twice, and I don't go see movies back to back like that, paying for it. No, but I'm not even gonna lie to you. Shit ain't cheap. But yeah, like if they took the comedy out of it more, dialed it down quite a bit for a Friday the 13th movie, I would have liked it a little more because every Friday the 13th movie has a little bit of comedy in it.
Right.
But this one had too much comedy in it, and I feel that took away from the movie because Jason's more of like a darker type of movie, more serious with, like I said, a little laughs in it here and there. I mean, I laugh at a lot of stuff that's not necessarily funny to anybody else, but that's different.
That's exactly how I feel about this new Halloween movie.
Too much comedy?
Fuck yeah.
I can see
Which
that.
one? Which one?
The new one that just came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Way too funny. It was funny, but like it wasn't a good Halloween movie. It was a good movie. It should have been called My Crazy Grandma.
My Crazy Grandma.
And it would have been same cast. I would have loved it. I'd be like, this is kind of similar to Halloween, but not as much. But I like it.
I would totally say that. I would say that was a really good slasher movie. It wasn't that great of a Halloween Michael Myers movie.
There were cool kills,
but it was a cool slasher movie. It was more just, what bothers me is like I grew up watching Halloween 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and like. That was kind of like when I was growing up, and like Halloween 2 was always my favorite.
Yeah. And
so this new Halloween movie like completely negates.
Right.
Like there even was a number 2. So that kind of hurts me a little bit,
Well, my thing is like you killed Jamie Lee Curtis off.
Mm-hmm.
The last one of the series. And now you're bringing her back, and like you said, negating all these other ones.
Right.
Because like. I watched all the 80s ones too when I was growing up. And then when I was growing up, like in my teens, fucking H2O, Resurrection, Busta Rhymes. Like, and now you're fucking killing it all. It was just hard and it was funny. And I don't know.
It was something I always appreciated about the Friday the 13th franchise is that I know that, how they continue to bring back Jason sometimes can be a little cheesy. But at least it's fucking original. At least it's something new. Like, I know, like, Jason's always going to be the same in, like, his style and everything like that. Yeah. But I think that, like, I always appreciated Friday the 13th for, like, the originality.
Yeah.
And I've just got, like, hey, we're going to bring him back this way. And we don't give a fuck what people think about it.
Right.
And then we're going to kill him this way. And we're going to show his face in this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always kind of appreciated that.
No, absolutely.
See, I really did like the new Halloween movie. It's actually one of my favorite ones, believe it or not. And... one thing I really loved about it, and I feel it got my attention, was how brutal and violent Michael actually was in this one. Because usually throughout the other, the other movies in the franchise, they're really not that gory. They're really not that bloody. Besides the Rob Zombie ones, they were nuts.
Those, yeah.
But
Yeah.
as
The
far,
best ones?
I mean, as far as like the originals, they weren't that. They had a little bit of blood here and there, but they weren't as crazy as the Rob Zombie ones.
Yeah, the originals weren't that gory.
The Rob Zombie one, I only like the first. I only consider the first one that he did. The second one, Nicholas Cage. If Nicholas Cage was in it, I don't even know.
Don't you even say that Nicolas Cage was in it. Don't you dare say that.
The second one was your tongue. You obviously didn't understand the white horse.
I didn't. Can you explain that to me, please?
Yeah, I can. White horse leads you to hell. It was a sign that he was coming for her. That's all it was. It was a premonition, and people are like, horses don't live in Illinois. Come on.
Yeah.
Horses are all over the Midwest.
I always
You ever
thought
been here?
Absolutely. I always thought it had a biblical meaning because, like, Revelation says that, like, hell is going to come to judge someone and, he'll be on a white horse.
Yeah.
So I always considered that, like, okay, this is this gateway to hell for him.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe I gotta rewatch it and try to remember that, but I probably still won't like it. But that's fine.
Dude, watch it, and just pay attention to the kills.
Oh, the kills are great.
One of the best kills in horror in that was it. What's her name? At the beginning, the nurse that gets killed.
I'm horrible with names.
I forget her name. We'll look it up. But she gets stabbed like 27 times. Gets stabbed in the head. She's like an Academy Award winner. She was in that new movie, The Shape of Water. Yeah, and she did really good.
Oh, okay.
I forget her name off the top of my head, but she's awesome. And that whole scene was fucking crazy. The whole scene with Buddy, who has done other horror movies, and he's a big part of it.
Octavia Spencer.
Yeah, she's the shit.
He stabs Octavia Spencer like over 30 times.
And he's like grunting and shit, and you kind of saw emotion. I know a lot of people have problems with that too. Like, Michael doesn't make noise when he stabs people. It's
You know what? It's funny you say that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but just so I don't forget. It's funny you say that, but go back and watch the original. And I want to say it's one of the first kills when he kills the girl in the car. He's grunting. He's making noises in the car.
Yeah, he totally does. And you hear him breathing throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
And so he obviously makes noise.
Yeah.
It's not like,
I don't think. See, the thing is, people didn't have an issue with the breathing part, but the grunting from the Rob Zombie ones, people had. I was one of the people who had an issue with that. I was like, this is bullshit because he's usually quieter. I know he has to breathe, but the grunting. And then I go back and watch the original. I'm like, you know what? I take all that back because he's grunting in this one, so I can't be mad at it.
Yeah, he does. He totally grunts in them. So I think people just tend to forget that. I think people get really, for whatever reason, get really pissed off at Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
And it's not just with Halloween. It's with his other movies too. Like
I agree with that.
He takes a lot of heat. And I guess it's, I don't know. I'm super into that kind of grindhouse.
Yes.
The
violent
crazy
horror.
shit. Me too.
That's something I'm into. So I like every fucking Rob Zombie
Hell
movie.
yeah.
I don't understand some of the beef that people have with him. I think honestly, it's a lot of jealousy. It's like, oh shit, he's got rock and roll. He's got a fucking badass girlfriend / wife. And, he's making badass horror movies. He's doing everything we want to do,
Hell
It's
yeah.
like they either love him or they hate him.
Yeah, it's just really weird. And then, like, I don't know, like, he's done movies like, Lords of Salem that were even, like, artsy and were completely different style from what he does, but it was still really cool. It was still fucking interesting,
It was a really good movie.
I don't know, I don't know, sometimes horror fans are, a little too picky, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's horror,
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. It's fictional character. You can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Did you guys see 31?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Fucking love that one.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Really good. That was a good movie.
Malcolm McDowell does no wrong.
Yeah, he's awesome. Did you see American Satan?
No.
That was good. Malcolm McDowell is in that one, and he's the devil.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
He'd be really good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's not horror, but it is, I guess, there's no gore really in it, but it's basically they sell their soul to be famous.
Okay,
Cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
That's a shit. I have to check that out.
But yeah, I think I think people tend to, people tend to lose track of Michael Myers and what all he's actually done. It's a really weird series too, because like the family tree is all fucked up throughout that Halloween series, and there's all kinds of different takes on Michael Myers, and the mask is never the same. The mask in Halloween 5 is absolutely ridiculous.
No. Oh, it's terrible. The mask is never really the same in Friday the 13th either.
Yeah.
I think they just get better.
Yeah.
This is actually my favorite mask, part 7.
You know what it is? The cool thing about the masks with Friday the 13th, though, which I can say, is a lot of times they get destroyed, and you'll see the fucked up mask in the next movie.
Yeah,
Shit,
It
part 7.
progresses.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, shit. I love that part of the mask is awesome, and I think it's the best mask in horror because when you show somebody that mask, they automatically go Jason. They'll say Jason. How even with little kids, like my niece is 4. If you listen to the intro of the podcast, you hear a little voice that's saying it's Jason's mask. That's my niece. She's never seen this movie before, ever.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I think she's played the game with my brother a couple times, and I painted her a quick little funny story. Well, actually, I didn't paint it for her. I painted this mask before she was even born. But I painted a pink Jason mask, and I had it I had it upstairs, I believe. And I had my part 7 mask, and I tried to get her to put it on. She like hid under the table because she was scared of it. I was like, all right, I'll be right back. So I grabbed the pink one, and she just grabbed it and put it on. And
That's awesome.
so I let her keep it. I bring her home that day, and she gets out. She's like, I want to scare my dad. So she puts the mask on, gets out, and running around outside with her dad, and he's acting like he's scared of her. And so the next day, the next time I see her, I'm like, so hey Mia, I'm like, did you scare Daddy with the mask? She was like, yeah, he ran inside. He was crying. I was rolling. But
Cute.
so yeah. But again, like with that mask, like somebody go, hey, that's a Jason mask. And
Do you think the Friday the 13th franchise would be as successful or have as big of a fan base if they had stuck with like maybe the sack Jason or just went a different way with the mask? Or do you think like
Jason, no.
That's tough. That's tough because the mask, just because we know the mask exists, it's so iconic. And for people who've never, like, a lot of people haven't seen, let's say, the first 2 Jason movies. They've seen from 3 and on, so all they know is that mask when it comes to Jason.
that's true, Paul.
If they see the sack one, they'll hey, who's that guy in the sack? That's Jason. Rest in peace to Steve Jash, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, it stinks. It's he'll be missed for sure.
I'll be right. I'm not disappearing. I'm just trying to grab something. A mask.
A mask.
Okay,
The
cool.
pink one.
I love stories like that too, man. I think it's important to get like I don't want to say to like shove horror down kids' throats or anything like that, but like my son, he's 7. It's like, hey, dude, we're gonna start off with movies like Beetlejuice and Nightmare Before Christmas, and go and do stuff like that, and then kind of see like, and now he loves Friday the 13th, especially with the video game coming out.
Dude, he's good at the video game.
He is, man, but it's cool that I get to share that with him, and it's also it's cool that like he can know like, hey man, this is just a movie. This is this is just to scare you, and
he likes it so much. He's helped us at the Nightmare Shop.
Yeah,
before.
That's awesome.
He's way into it. It's cool.
But yeah, I think it's important to like get it's art. I think it's good for like kids to see see art as long as it's explained to them.
Look at that beauty.
What it is. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
I don't remember. I got this from oh shit. I don't remember what con it was. I want to say Monster Mania out in New Jersey. But I freaking love this mask.
What did you think? Like, did you like Monster Mania? By the way, we always see it. Like, we see stuff here in the Midwest, but would it be worth coming out and seeing a Monster Mania?
Definitely, it's worth it. Last year, this past year, I know they had a lot of crap going on with it, with like overbooking and all that and craziness. But I've been to it twice, and it's amazing. It's a big con. It's way bigger than Scaricon. I love Scaricon, don't get me wrong. It's way bigger than Scaricon. And that's actually where I met Kane Hodder, was at Monster Mania. It's actually where I met damn near all the Jasons except for Ari Lehman. I met him here in Albany. I met him at Scaricon. But all the other Jasons that I did get to meet, I met at Monster Mania. I did get to meet Steve Dash, which was great. I wish I got to meet the one from Part 3, Richard Bunker, though. And this isn't a funny story, but crazy thing is, the week before, there was a thing called FanCon up here in Albany. The week before then, he was supposed to come to that con. He passed away. I was like, oh, that sucks.
Man. That sucks.
But, you know, I got to meet a few of them, so that's cool. And, yeah, Jason 7's the best one, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think Jason Lives is my favorite, but you know, after watching this today, man, like this is definitely up there. I'm gonna have to go back and rearrange my Friday 13th.
Time to rewatch the whole series, I guess.
Oh, bummer.
You know what it is with this series, and you could probably say it about any horror movie series. It could switch as far as from your favorites to your least favorites, or definitely your favorite. Your top 3 can switch every single time you watch the series over again. You're just like, holy shit, this is my fucking favorite. Yeah. And then you get to part 6, holy shit, this is my favorite. Then you get to part 6, holy shit, this is my favorite.
Yeah, you're right. It's crazy, and because it's almost like, you know, people's like taste palette changes. Like,
yeah, totally.
It's almost like, you know, that's how it is with horror movies. Like sometimes, like I can go back and rewatch a horror movie that I don't really remember liking that much, and be like, holy crap, that was an awesome movie. Like maybe I was just at a different place in that, you know, part of my life, I guess.
13 Ghosts was pretty good.
I remember thinking that too. Like, 13 Ghosts was the shit, and then going back and watching it not too long ago.
Ghost Ship was good. I wasn't into Ghosts as much when I was little. I did like the others.
Good.
Oh man, I wonder what Jason's doing right now.
Dude, I bet he's probably. I don't know. He's probably like, you know, sitting on his bed thinking about his mom.
He's definitely relaxing right now. It should be a little bit too cold for people to be hanging out at his camp, but I could be wrong.
Do we know?
Maybe he hibernates, man, in the winter.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, you know, until summer comes and these dumbass teenagers show up. Like, I'm underground, man.
I'll let Freddie take care of it.
Yeah, Freddie's got this.
Freddie's got the winters, man. People are sleeping. It's darker early. You already know this, man.
Spring, summer rolls around, and people are like, I want to go camping. And then, boom, Jason all of a sudden working overtime.
There you go. Overtime ain't the word. He just don't stop.
Oh, yeah, man.
Man, go take a nap or something.
Enjoys it. Like, he's very Predator-like. Like, you know, if you watch the Predator films, it's like, man, this motherfucker loves to hunt. It's like Jason Voorhees only lives to kill. Like, he doesn't come back to fucking, like, do anything but kill.
Right.
You know? Yeah, he definitely...
It's a crazy fucking concept. And it's one of the most fucking... The whole series, the iconic, fuck, man. Like, and they play with it a little bit in this one and, like, give a little more when they should. But it's really cool. Like, I mean, who doesn't know that? It's almost as iconic as the mask.
Yeah.
And the weapon.
It is. Oh, the walk. That slow-ass walk. I don't understand it, but I guess...
Who has a slower walk, Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees?
Oh, that's a good question.
Gosh.
I feel like Jason, like, had more of a speed walk, you know? He was kind of like fucking cruising through the woods.
Very rough.
He does that. He does at times with Jason. I could say that. And then sometimes he's just walking slow as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know who's slower, but I know they would lose in a 3-legged sack race.
Yeah.
Because there's who the fuck's not gonna walk faster?
Yeah.
Unless it was Chucky with his little bitty legs.
Yeah, but they're just gonna kill people, and they're gonna end up winning.
See, I'm not a huge fan of Chucky.
Really?
Why not?
Really?
I don't know. Like, I liked the original one, but after that, I just... Like, the newer ones, I really don't like very much.
Not even the last one. What was it? Cult that came out last, or was it Curse?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Cult.
I liked that one.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's where there's a bunch of him, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of dolls.
That's actually one thing I liked about it. How he possessed all those dolls or whatever, and made them come and just. I thought it was cool. I like how he possessed the girl at the end in the wheelchair, which I thought was stupid. That'd be the last person I'm gonna possess. Let me possess this girl in the wheelchair so I can take over her body. Yeah, great move, Chucky.
Yeah, but she gets up.
But she does get up. But I'm just saying, like,
yes, and that's cool because that's his daughter in real life. Fiona Dourif is Brad Dourif's daughter, and it's cool. It's kind of like handing over the role, and now they're coming out with another remake of that.
They're coming out with 2.
Aren't they doing a show
They're doing they're supposedly doing a show, and I believe they're doing 2 movies because they're doing a movie that's without any of the original directors or anything. Brad Dourif has nothing to do with it, and this Chucky doll is like a robot, I believe. I could be wrong.
Called like a buddy doll.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it, and then they're doing another one of the regular Chucky and all that silly stuff, and then they're also doing a show. But I'm not sure who's connected with the show. I'm not sure if it's like the original people.
I thought
or
it
what.
was Don Mancini was doing the show, the director of the last one. He's been involved in like all of them.
You could be right with that. You might be right with that one. I'm not 100% sure. And speaking of shows, I remember back, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago when they were talking, this is before I knew about the legal bullshit with Friday the 13th. They were talking about doing a Friday the 13th TV series, which would have been amazing. But
They did at one point.
that was different. That had nothing to do with Jason, though.
Right.
It was good though. I actually started watching that. I want to say maybe a year or 2 ago, and I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I didn't finish it yet, but it's good. But they're gonna do one with Jason. I think his father was gonna be involved in. I'm not 100% sure, which would have been interesting, I guess. And this is when they were talking about doing the show. They were talking about doing a couple more movies and this and that and the third. And then, as you can see, nothing's gonna be going on yet besides the game, which it does suck. Not the game, but I mean that nothing's been going on with the Jason thing yet.
I've heard there's been steps though taken and like shit's moving forward.
Yeah, it sounds like the money's getting to the right guy. Now it's just kind of like, okay, how can we like move on legally and start like doing some new shit? Start like, okay, cool, man. Here's your money. Here's what we owe you. Let's regroup and fucking continue the shit.
We bought you over.
It's frustrating. I thought it'd be over by now as well, and it's just kind of like, I don't know what's, it just sounds like, Paramount's kind of being a bunch of cheapskates.
Yeah, well, with the legal thing with that, the last I read on it is Victor Miller, I believe his name is. He won the case, but then I believe they went and appealed it, so I don't know what's going on now. I just hope everything goes together. I hope whoever is deserved money gets paid because they earn that, and I hope they can just get it all together, kiss and make up, shake hands, whatever, and just make more awesome Friday the 13th movies. Do it for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I agree. That's the biggest thing is like, at a certain point we just need to move on from this shit and fucking like give the fans what they want.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Just do it.
Let's say something about Kaepernick, but I don't know. Still too touchy? Too soon?
Too soon, man.
All right. Well, just do it.
Yes. Just do it. Now, if they were to remake this series or reboot this series, would you guys want to see that? Like, if they were going more, obviously a better look, up-to-date look. They followed the story. They say they followed each Friday the 13th story. Let's just do 1 through 7. We don't have to do Jason Takes Manhattan and all that other stuff, but just 1 through 7. They followed the story. Maybe add a little more to it, a little more detail to it. Would you guys want to watch something like that? I know I would.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd watch it. I'd be skeptical.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like that with anything they do, but I'd have to check it out.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, man, I don't know. I feel like I'm over skeptical with remakes. Like, there's a lot I don't like. So, if you're gonna do 7 remakes, I feel like I already have a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's gonna.
Or even if they broke it up, like how with the 09 remake, how it was like the first 3. So say they did something like that again, but obviously geared it towards the 80s. So say like let's say they did 3 or 4. First one was 1, 2, and 3. Second was the rest 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Or whatever 4, 5, 6, 7.
They could make it work. It's just what's gonna hard to like replicate. It's just like, hey, how do you replace Betsy Palmer? But I think that obviously it can be done. I'm sure some different spin on it. It'd be cool. I think as long as you kept the premise but didn't try and be like, hey, we're gonna make it exactly like this.
That'd be a good idea for the TV show.
Yeah,
do
that's
like a
true.
7-part series.
Ooh.
And kind of do like a a condensed remake of each fucking movie.
That'd be really.
That'd be cool.
Like
Maybe
a season would be like a whole movie,
right?
You know.
I like that. Netflix, get on it.
Yeah.
I say Netflix or something like that because if it's on regular TV, it's going to be cut down. It's going to be shitty. It's not going to be boobs and blood and all the stuff that we love about Jason. There's going to be corny kills, somebody falling down the stairs and dying with no blood. Jason stabbing somebody with nobody bleeds. Like, what kind of bullshit is? Nobody wants that. So Netflix, get on it.
Say, the Scream, the TV series, was on MTV. Yeah. That was plenty gory.
I did see some of that.
I actually really enjoyed it.
It was pretty gory. I watched some of it. It was because that also came out.
It is an MTV show, you know. Like they get away with more shit too.
Yeah, it could be done.
Yeah,
it could totally be done.
I guess it would depend on what series picked it up. Like if it's on Fox or CW, they can only do so much. Versus if it's on like HBO or Showtime.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
And another thing with Netflix is everybody has Netflix. Everybody doesn't have cable anymore. Everybody doesn't have HBO, so you're gonna reach a bigger, broader audience putting it on something like Netflix or Hulu, whatever, than regular basic cable.
And the guys that need to be doing this would be the guys that are like directing movies like Never Hike Alone and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like those were the guys that you could put in charge of like, hey, these guys that are doing these really big, very well done, fan made, films. Like, hey, how cool would it be if Netflix was able to throw uber bucks at you guys, and we know that you already love the series. Like that's actually a really good idea.
I
finally watched Never Hike Alone. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yes, it's so good. It's such a different take on Jason, but at the same time, it totally
he's still
works.
Brutal.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Fuck me, man.
Oh, I love it.
It was cool.
The ending and everything with Matthew showing up.
That was awesome. Cool. That was awesome.
It was really cool. Took me a while to get to it, but really liked it.
I can't wait
for
part 2.
Work.
What took you so long to watch that? I know you love Jason so much. You claim to at least, and you just watched this. What's going on?
Oh, sick burn. Well, I'm really busy trying to go around a store. How do you like that? No. Well, no. I don't know, man. I just, I kind of knew what happened. There was so much hype. I felt like I had watched it. So many people talking about it, online, and
that was partially my fault.
Well, no, I meant like.
I got excited. I got excited and blabbed. I couldn't fucking help it.
There were YouTube ads. Like you open YouTube and it's like Never Hike. You just saw it everywhere, and I was like, well, okay. And I'm not, like that was a very good fan-made film. I've seen very shitty fan-made films. It's like, what the fuck am I wasting my time for? So once again, skeptical. We went over this, okay? I need Hollywood big bucks. No, I'm kidding. I like B-rated movies just as much. And, I'm starting to get on that fan-made bandwagon.
Mm-hmm. I'm still enjoying the fan-made stuff. And I'm guessing if this was a fan-made Nightmare on Elm Street movie, you would have probably seen that a lot sooner, though, huh?
Not really, because there are ones, and, like, I don't need to see some fake-ass Freddy fucking walking around in someone's dream.
Who do you think could do a Freddy? And I guess this is a good question for you too. In that sense, like, is there someone out there right now that, let's say that isn't Robert Englund that could do portray Freddy?
Kevin Bacon,
Bill Moseley.
That's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Bacon, Bill Moseley. Definitely not Nicolas Cage. He would. Oh my God, he would make me hate Freddy.
I always thought Richard Brake wouldn't be that bad too.
He would be good.
Richard Brake would be terrific. Especially, he was in that cameo in Mandy, and like just what he was dressed in, he kind of looked sleek and like extra skinnier. And like same with 31, he had his shirt off in that first scene. He was fucking skinny, and his silhouette. If you would have thrown a fucking glove and a hat on him, that would have been Freddy.
Or Michael Jackson.
And I bet he could do the fucking voice. Or he could do his own voice to be just as good, or, good enough at least. But
Good enough.
I also think that Richard Brake would do really well if they ever did a remake with Pumpkinhead. And he would be, Ed Harley. I thought that Richard Brake would do like really good in that role as well.
That's something I wouldn't mind seeing the remake of is Pumpkinhead. I gotta revisit the series again because I wasn't a huge fan of it. I loved the monster and stuff, but the story was kind of I don't know, it didn't
Yeah.
really get my attention. But I gotta revisit that. But I would love to see a remake of that. Someone needs to make that happen.
The first Pumpkinhead might be one of my favorite.
Oh.
I love that movie.
I love it too.
You know, and as a series, it's not that great. I'll say that much. But I thought the first Pumpkinhead was really well done, and they totally could redo it as long as it's not CGI. As long as you're still using Stan Winston effects.
Yeah.
You know, like I totally think you could do a Pumpkinhead movie and be super successful with it. I think people are fucking waiting for a good monster movie, and it's starting to evolve, you know, with this like MonsterVerse, and then you have movies like Quiet Place and stuff like that. I think people are ready to see a cool fucking, you know, monster movie.
I agree.
I also agree with that.
I love monsters. I think it was brought back a little bit with Pacific Rim, you know? Both of those movies and the monsters that came from the depths. Holy fuck. And the robots that went with it. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, and then the success of a movie like Shape of Water. And like and how much with the awards like that movie won. I'm not saying that like Shape of Water was this, you know, awesome horror movie because it wasn't much of a horror movie, but it was totally a monster movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for whatever reason, you know, like people are starting to kind of veer towards that. They're finally getting off zombies and they're starting to fucking veer towards monsters.
Oh, totally, dude. The zombie era, dude, it's starting to fade. You know, Romero went. And it's hard right now for, you know, the deadheads. Fuck, man.
Someone needs to step up, Max Brooks, and make another fucking World War Z.
Right.
Midget zombies.
Make the survival guide into a movie. That'd be the shit.
Yeah.
Like, they are making a new Zombieland. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I don't know. Dude, monsters are just, oh, God. These new fucking Godzilla movies. Oh man, I'm excited. It's hard not to like look them up every day and watch the trailer.
And then they released this new Predator movie, so it's just like it just seems like it's kind of gearing towards that, which is cool, man. I'm ready for a change anyway.
Yeah.
And I know that this year they're releasing a bunch of different slashers, and I wouldn't be, you know, and with the success of Halloween, and I know that. Me and you weren't huge fans of it, but I still went and supported it in theaters because I think it's important.
One of the most successful movies in horror ever.
If this Halloween movie maybe doesn't get our generation into it, but gets a whole different generation into horror, hey, that's a fucking fantastic thing.
I agree 1,000,000% on that.
Have you guys seen Bird Box yet?
No, I'm kind of worried about it, I guess.
How was it? What'd you think?
I thought it was good. It's just, I don't like that you never really know what it is that is kind of taking everybody over.
Yeah,
you know, is it zombies? Is it, you know, an entity? Like, what is it that's doing it? But it was good. I thought it was really good.
That's what I heard. I heard it's really good, but it just, a lot goes kind of unexplained.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which can be good and bad. Like, sometimes it's good if it's left up to your imagination. But
yeah, like Cloverfield you saw a little bit.
Yeah.
But you didn't really know what the fuck was going on. It was just T.J. Miller on the camera. The whole fucking movie.
But I like
really
that they
good.
showed
They're
at
all
least
good.
glimpses of it, you know?
Yeah, you know.
So, I'm sure I'll still give it a try, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check it out too. I caught the tail end of that. I caught the end of that movie actually. My wife was watching it. I want to say Christmas Eve. I forgot. But when I came home from work, she had it on, so I sat down and watched the rest of it. And from what I seen, it wasn't bad. She really enjoyed it. But I do need to check out the whole movie. And actually, I believe it's the director of the movie. I don't know how the hell I found him on Facebook. Somebody tagged him in something and said something about the movie, so I hit him up and told him congratulations on the movie and let him know about the podcast. I'm gonna try to get him on here. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but you got to throw that net out there. So that means I have to watch the movie either way if I like it or not. But from what, like I said, from what I've seen, it was pretty good. And now you know the funny thing is you see a bunch of memes and videos of people blindfolding themselves and doing shit. I'm just like, man, that right there is hilarious.
I saw someone blindfold themselves and like their daughter, you know, and the guy was like booking it, and like their daughter like smokes him to the wall.
Yes, with the little baby. He was running with his two kids.
Little, like, you know, 2 or 3 year old or something like that. I guess I shouldn't be laughing at that.
No, that was hilarious. That was
when
hilarious.
kids get hurt, it's funny.
when they run into shit. Listen to this. When a little kid sees you fall, the first thing they do is laugh.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
true.
I know for a fact that my son would point and laugh at me if I
Oh,
fell.
When anyone falls, it's funny.
Yeah, it is.
Who you are, it's hilarious. That's why Jackass was so successful. Most falling or jumping off shit or running into shit.
Yeah, them crazy bastards, man.
White people.
Yeah, yeah. You won't catch me doing that silly shit. There's too much.
Yeah. Bird Box has that guy from Predator, the black guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
The guy that played Nebraska.
Yeah.
Okay, I really liked him. I liked that character in the Predator.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wait a minute. No, it's the new Predator.
Yeah, the guy that's I'll look it up right now. I can't
He
think.
dies at the end on top of the spaceship thing.
Yes, yeah, like that was actually one of the cooler deaths in my opinion. I think his character name, was Nebraska.
Nebraska, yeah.
But I don't know like what his act. I'm gonna look it up right now.
The fucking name is Nebraska for somebody. That's just, oh my god. That's the best they can come up with.
Sounds like his military name.
Trevante Rhodes
okay.
is his name. He was in Moonlight too, which is a really good movie. But yeah, I want.
Let's check that out.
I'll have to check it out because I liked him a lot. So I'm not, and that's another thing is I'm not a big Sandra Bullock fan. I'm super hit or miss with her. Like I don't know. She just kind of pisses me off sometimes. It's like her and who's Forrest Gump's mom? What was that actress name?
Sally Field.
Sally Field. Sally Field pisses me off every once in a while too. I don't know what it is about.
I don't like her.
And it's not like I think that they're bad actresses. It's just something about them, man. It's like Nick Cages me, you know.
Oh, well, he's a bad actor, but I do understand the disdain and the aggression you have towards these people because of what they did to you. So I'm never gonna down you for that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you understanding me. Seriously.
I really want Nicolas Cage to come on this podcast
every fucking time we talk, dude.
I really want Nicolas Cage on this podcast so me and him can hash things out, or at least try to.
Probably should.
I think it'd be good.
It would be pretty healthy for the both of us.
I think it'd be healthy for you. I think it'd be pretty awful for him.
No, it would be healthy. And I'll tell you what I would do. If there's any way, and this goes to anybody, if you can get in contact with Nicolas Cage, his P.O. box or whatever, I want to send, when I get more of these hats made, I want to send him a hat. If he wears the hat, takes a picture of it, posts it on social media, and wears a Horror Research 30 hat, I'll stop talking so bad about him. I'll say something nice about him.
Dude, I'm going to have to write him a letter and be like, listen, I have this friend, okay, he fucking hates you, but he wants to in some way make amends. Just wear this fucking hat.
Here's this hat.
Take a picture.
I don't want to say I hate him because hate's a real strong word. I just don't like what he does.
If he does wear your hat, I hope he has the hair from Con Air.
I don't care how his hair is. I just want him to wear the hat. And I now listen, if he wears the hat and it's not showing my logo, I'm just gonna talk even more shit about him. But if he's showing the logo off, okay, here it is. If he shows the logo off, I will record me saying something nice about him, and I will try my best not to talk shit about him and record it. At least I can't say I won't talk shit about him anymore, but I can at least not record it. That's the best I can do.
Okay,
I won't document my hatred for you.
Okay, cool.
There you go. That's the best.
I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair, man.
And now, I mean, if he comes on the podcast, I'll be even nicer. We can hash things out. Try to, but I'm still not gonna watch his movies. You can't force me to do that. And I still don't want his autograph. That's another thing I don't want ever, unless he's in a good horror movie and he gets taken out in that movie. Then yeah, I'll get it.
What if he signs one of his chainsaws from Mandy? Would you take it?
I don't know.
Come on, dude.
I didn't even watch Mandy. It's tough for me to watch because he's in it.
Oh, dude, you could pawn that for so much money. Just take it.
Dude, just get it and give it to us.
Yeah, man. Fine.
Okay, all right. Since you guys seen this movie, was the movie worth watching? Would it be worth my time watching, or is it gonna just piss me off? Because
you're not gonna like the first half. Of
It's just gonna piss you off.
Here-
man.
First half sucks.
here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna watch the movie, right? Then once I see the movie, I'm gonna be so angry and rage. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna have to do another bash podcast like on Tales from the Hood 2. And you know what? I might do that.
Here's what you need to do, man. Here's what you need to do. You need to smoke a fat blunt and then have one ready like 45 minutes in and spark that one up right after.
Yeah.
And you'll be fucking loving it.
Or sleeping.
The thing about it is, it's not like much of a horror movie. It's more of like a revenge movie. It's more like, I mean, it's kind of more of a cult movie. You know, it's not really scary in that sense. There's some fucked up shit that goes on in it, but like you're never really like sitting on your couch like shaking in your boots or anything like that. But like it's well shot. There's a really cool soundtrack, and there's a really badass chainsaw fight.
Does he talk a lot in this movie?
Finish it.
Does he talk a lot in the movie?
No, actually,
okay.
he doesn't talk that much. I mean,
That helps.
he might have like 30 lines in the movie.
Does he make stupid? Well, I can't say that because his face is always stupid. So, but he doesn't talk much. So that definitely helps a lot because I don't know, his voice gets on my nerves. His hair, his shoes, everything.
Richard Brake's in it. Actually, he talks in it. He talks for like maybe 10 minutes.
What's his name from Predator?
Bill Duke's in it. I can't remember the bad guy's name though.
Nicolas Cage is the bad guy.
He's crazy.
But yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be worth your time. I hate to say that, because I'd like to say like, yeah, go watch, you know. But I know this how much you hate Nicolas Cage, and there's at one point where he's like, you know, in his underwear screaming in the bathroom. So,
oh my god, why?
I don't know. Well, because some fucked up shit goes on, man.
Yeah, man, some bad shit just happened.
But
you know
he's
what?
screaming in his underwear.
Maybe start in the middle.
Maybe I'll have to watch this movie and just bird box it. Just watch it with a blindfold on the whole fucking time.
There you go.
Listen to it,
Bird box that shit. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, man.
And just tell everyone, hey, what'd you think about the movie? Well, I kind of watched. I bird boxed it.
It sounded good.
Maybe
Like a new term, bird box it.
Maybe me and John will like film an abridged version of it, and we'll just send it to you.
That
Yeah,
works.
dude.
I like you guys, so that could work.
Okay, cool.
Dude, we'll both be in our underwear.
You don't have to do that.
Your wife's gonna be pissed. You're gonna pop it in like, what the fuck are these dudes sending you here?
Like, I have no idea.
We're never going to Missouri ever.
Because of these two. I don't know why they're in their underwear, and I don't know why they're skipping holding hands. This has nothing to do with
We're
Mandy.
doing Mandy. This was Mandy.
But I might actually watch that movie, and I'm just going to have to give my honest opinion about it when the movie's over and do a podcast on it. And I'll try not to bash you too much, Nick, but I'm not going to make any promises because I probably will bash you through the whole podcast again.
I'll tell you what, dude. If you watch Mandy, I absolutely want to be a part of that podcast.
Okay. Deal. I'm gonna now just because of that, I'm gonna watch that movie.
All right, cool. Like, I mean, I feel like that'd be an outstanding podcast to talk about.
It'd be fun.
It's gonna be great. I need to do more podcasts of movies that I absolutely cannot stand, just so I can, get that aggression out, get that anger out. It's healthy.
It is. You gotta do it some way.
So you guys, that goes for you guys too. You got to bring some movies up to the horror movies up to the thing that you can't stand, as long as it's not any Friday the 13th movies, because I can't stand for that fake news.
I'll have to think about that one. That one's like a horror movie that I hate. What was that movie? The Curse 2, where all those snakes are on the road?
Oh yeah, Cursed 2.
That movie was pretty bad.
Fucked up. The first Curse was cool. The fucking second one took a turn. There were snakes everywhere.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I don't like Color Me Blood Red. It's the worst horror movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's really bad.
I've seen some pretty shitty ones.
Never even heard of it.
It's really the only one I don't like. Like, truly not. I don't need to watch it again.
It's not that. It's pretty bad, but The premise is this guy kills people and kind of drains them of their blood, and then uses their blood to. He's an artist, and he uses their blood to like kind of portray different art.
And dude, these paintings are not good paintings.
It's literally
He's
just
fucking smearing his hands across the plane like fucking Pablo Picasso. Yeah, it's terrible. I would not recommend it. 0 out of 5 stabs.
Have you seen Devil's Candy?
No.
I think that's on Netflix, right?
It was. I think it
Okay.
still is. But since you're
Okay.
talking about paintings, that
Yeah.
was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've actually heard good things about that movie. Actually, I don't know much about it, but I've heard and I've kind of like read the plot where it just seems like someone that's like, I don't know if he's killing people and creating art with them, but it seems cool.
Yeah.
I'll check that out too.
I think you'd like it.
Hell yeah. I love new horror, so.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
My friend did on Netflix. Have you seen Beyond the Gates?
Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
Barbara
That's a
Crampton.
really good movie. Yeah,
Mhm.
Barbara Crampton.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, my friend did that one.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
Actually, that's kind of where me and John, we always talk about like the Mount Rushmore of horror, and it's because of that fucking movie. Because they have like in the movie, like on one of the scenes, they have like the Mount Rushmore like painted on the outside of a building of like this movie rental place. And me and John always talked about like, man, once we get a shop, one of like the murals that we talked about is doing like this Mount Rushmore with
Fuck
like
yeah.
you know Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers and Leatherface and
Yeah,
Pinhead
that'd be
and stuff
awesome.
like that.
That'd be cool.
You can do
Yeah.
a classic monster one. You can do all sorts of
Yeah.
cool shit with it.
But it's just it's kind of because of that movie, and that's a really cool movie. That's awesome that you know them.
Mm-hmm.
That's an awesome idea.
Oh, I wonder if we can get him on here.
Oh, that'd be great.
They're more than welcome, so I'm not going to turn down anybody, not even Nicolas Cage.
Invitations out.
Yep.
Let me add to the list.
Heck yeah.
Oh.
Oh, shit. But yeah, as I was saying, though, I seen, as far as shitty horror movies, I told you guys about this before. The movie Ooga Booga, horrible. Piranha
Yeah,
Shark,
yeah.
horrible. Jurassic Shark, horrible. I'm trying to think of more. And those 3 movies I just named, I seen them all in one weekend. I watched like
Really?
I watched like 5 or 6 movies, and I think like 4 out of the 6 were bad, and the other 2 were good. But I just, it was one of those things where it was like I was just like, I'm gonna watch these movies or whatever. I'm gonna see how they are, and I'm gonna stick with them. I'm not gonna turn them off in the middle because they're so bad, because I've done that before. And I stuck with them, and I don't regret it. As I always say, I don't regret it. I don't regret watching what the fuck was that stupid ass movie? Something Hood, Tales from the Hood Part 2. I don't regret watching it. I only say that because
Yeah.
had I not watched it, I would have probably watched it, let's say yesterday, and then been pissed off yesterday that I watched it, and it's oh gosh, I'm still upset about that movie.
If I had to pick a movie that's more like mainstream that maybe some people like that I don't like I would go with like I'm not a fan of the Final Destinations.
Really?
Like I'm just not like into like what if this and this happened and it killed this person in this way. I don't know. It's like not scary to me. Like the idea of it isn't really scary.
They are not.
It's kind of silly and cheesy to me. Not to say that they're bad movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not my thing. Like I'm not, that's something I feel like a lot of people liked, and I'm like, I am not a Final Destination guy.
I freaking love them. I don't know
Really?
why. I think it's mainly just because of the weird, crazy, gory kills in it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me, and I get why people don't like it, and I see it as more of like a I mean, I know people you can say they go hand in hand, but more of like a thriller than a horror movie in a sense. And it's just, I don't know. It's one of them things. It's kind of weird though. I'm like, damn, people are just getting picked off. You survived this, now you're gonna get killed from this shit. It's
Yeah.
it's
I
cool
mean,
though. It was a cool idea.
It's an interesting idea. It's just not my,
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm watching a horror movie and I'm not scared at least one time, or there's not a situation that kind of scares me, to me it's kind of like kind of a bust or a bummer.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick one that I think people like or tend to like or lean towards, it would probably be like a Final Destination. I'm also not a huge fan of like I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think
I liked that one.
that was something that like not to say that like again that was like this bad movie necessarily. It was just like it kind of came right after Scream.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of like it when Scream came out, all of a sudden like every horror movie poster looked the fucking same.
Everyone's face was on the cover
Yeah, there was
in the V formation.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then and I Know What You Did Last Summer was kind of that second like okay, here's Scream. Well, if you like Scream, you'll like this.
Kevin Williamson did Scream and then went and directed I Know What You Did Last Summer. I believe he directed it. I know he wrote it. But yeah, it was the first one was cool.
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt's not bad to look at. Ryan Phillippe either. And then the second one with Jack Black as this Jamaican dude was not good.
Oh,
and they actually made a third one called I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, I think. And I never saw it. It was a huge failure because like Freddie Prinze and Jennifer Love Hewitt were supposed to come back, and then they both canceled. So like they had to like recast and rewrite because they were on a timeline, and it's just this whole shitty story apparently. So I didn't even know about it until a few years ago.
I'm gonna have to revisit those. Maybe not the third one. I never seen that, but I haven't seen those movies in shit probably since they came out. Honestly, maybe like one time after that. But I guess I can't even judge it. But maybe it's just one of those movies that it wasn't good enough for me to revisit, or maybe I just didn't because I forgot about them. I really don't know. I feel I have to see those again. But I do remember what you guys were saying about how like a lot of the movie posters and shit look the same after Scream came out. And that still kind of happens to this day with everything. Like, if something hot comes out, everybody copies it in one way or another. Whether it be the movie posters, same thing with music. If somebody does something with music, everything sounds the same. I'm just like, come up with a new idea. This is bullshit.
Yeah. I thought, and it's cool because there are some movies like that have come out somewhat recent that are more original, like more like a movie like It Follows or something like that. But like when Scream came out, it changed the game so much that like almost every slasher or every quote unquote original slasher that came out after that, it almost had this like Scream DNA in it. It's just like, okay, well, to be successful, we're gonna take a group of like witty teens, and they're gonna try and cover something up, and they're gonna slowly get picked off one by one.
We're gonna bash every other fucking horror movie that there is.
Yeah, Scream totally set the tone in that sense because Scream even, Wes Craven even made fun of some of his own other Wes Craven movies, like Terror Train and stuff like that. So Scream kind of like, made such a mark that for a while that's kind of what the slasher genre was.
They almost broke the fourth wall without like talking to the screen.
Yeah,
Scream's so good.
That's another one I gotta revisit. I did rewatch those. When did we do that? Maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Me and my wife decided, like when we watch certain horror movies, well, obviously ones that have a series, we'll just start from the first one and go all the way up to the last one. And I forgot how I felt about those movies now. I gotta go revisit those again.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
totally.
They're so good. I think I know probably all 4 of them by heart.
Was there 4 or was there 5? Or was there a rumor for a
There's
5th?
4 of them. And then there's 2 seasons of the show.
Okay.
I really liked the first one. The other ones, I was just kind of, they're all right, whatever.
Yeah.
The first one, I always will love the first one.
Yeah, the first one's so good. It's just, I don't know. It was, like I said, it just kind of changed the game. It was really good. That first kill with Drew Barrymore was like so good, and it was cool how Wes Craven kind of zoomed out and showed like what fucking happened to Drew, and how she was like completely decutted, and it was a huge statement, like killing her off like early in the movie.
Dude, he eviscerated
because they
her.
totally built her up. You know, when I was
She's on the cover.
yeah, I mean, they totally built her character up. I remember the first time I watched that movie, like I was just like, man, she's in all the trailers. You know, you're watching, you know, you hear Drew Barrymore on the phone, and then all of a sudden you go watch the movie or something, and it's kind of like, oh, she's the first one to go. Holy shit!
It was the same in the second one with Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith. They were both gone in the first scene.
And that right there, I actually love because, and I know you guys are like, hey, black actors getting killed. He's happy about it. But the thing is, it's because they're big names. Like it gets kind of boring when you watch certain movies with big name actors. I'll say with horror in general, and I can't give you an example because I can't think of any. And that big LL Cool J, and and they survive throughout the whole damn just because they're that big name character. I'm like, come on, you can't let these guys survive all the time. I already know who's gonna survive. I know what's gonna happen. Just kill them off.
The famous guys and gals.
And that's one reason why with horror I'm not saying I hate it, but I don't really like big name people in these type of movies. They can be any other type of movies, but like with these, I'm like, if you're in this with a big name, you have to get killed off too. It's only right.
What about people who have made themselves a big name in horror? Are you the same way with that, or if it's like a recurring thing?
That's different though. Like,
okay,
say if there's Kevin Bacon. Nobody knew who he was. I don't know how big he got after Friday the 13th. I wasn't even born when that movie came out. But people know who he is now. But if he was in that type of movie, well, I think if you made your start in a horror movie, you blew up later on, and then you're in some other horror movies later on, it's a little different than if you're in a whole different genre of movies. You have a big name. You're like The Rock. If he's ever in a horror movie, that's gonna piss me off because he's gonna try to rock bottom somebody and survive, and that's just bullshit.
Dude, that'd be shit if he rock bottom someone.
Not Jason. He ain't doing that to Jason.
Ran up on Swamp Thing and was like, "Oh, rock bottom, know your role, bitch." Boom. I'd watch that in a heartbeat in a New York minute.
So, what did you guys think? This kind of off topic, but so you know how Danielle Harris was in the number 5 Halloween, and then Rob Zombie put her in his, and she was a completely different character.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I loved her character in the Rob Zombie movies. So, like, what was her name? Is it Annie?
Yeah.
I think that in the second one, with Brad Dourif's reaction to her death, and how I don't know. I think it's kind of Rob and Danielle in a lot of ways, and 4 and 5 to me are the worst Halloween.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of like Rob saying, it's almost like a shout out to the original series by using her, but then at the same time it does somewhat negate 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad that she was obviously a different character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that he ran in like a whole different direction. So I guess in that sense it worked. I liked it.
I liked it just because, like you said, that was a better character.
Mm-hmm.
So
and she and her death was just so it was
the family tree, like you said earlier, is already so fucked. Like, who cares? They'll bring someone back. Yeah. Jamie Lee dead. They fucking brought her back in this new one.
Right.
That's true.
That's the thing with the Halloween franchise is like some of those movies, like a lot of them don't even coincide. Like Curse of Michael Myers almost like throws the whole series upside down,
right?
With Paul Rudd and stuff like that. So,
yeah, go Paul Rudd though, fucking Ant-Man.
Yeah, hell yeah. But I thought it was cool that Rob Zombie, he probably looked at that series as a whole and was like, holy shit, what am I going to do with this? Oh, I'll know what I'll do. I'm going to fucking make it, why Michael Myers is Michael Myers.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a cool take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now I liked 4 and 5 of Halloween. Those didn't bother me at all, and it doesn't bother me that she was in the Rob Zombie movie either, at all. Actually, I think she did a great job, and it's cool that they brought a character from the past that was was in the franchise, and she's not bad to look at. Obviously, we all know that.
I like her.
See?
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked her in those movies. And
me and John got to meet her, and she was nothing but super nice. And was just like, yeah, why don't you come on back and take a picture? Like she was just, She was really freaking cool.
I
We met her at
She's
Horror
very
House.
tiny.
She
Yeah.
is. She is. I seen her in person. I didn't get to meet her because her line was so freaking long. But I did see her at Monster Mania actually a couple years ago. I was gonna get her autograph if we had the time to for my brother, but I didn't get a chance to because the line was just ridiculously long. It was crazy how long that line. Like I would have probably been waiting in line for over 4 hours, and I'm not doing that. I can't. I just. I'm not
Yeah.
patient enough for that. And there was like a bunch of other like this is the one with yeah, because this is the year my brother didn't go. I went twice, and a bunch of Jasons were there, I believe. I know Kane Hodder was definitely there, and I just can't wait that for Kane Hodder. I think I would have waited long because he's one of my favorite horror icons of all time.
Yeah.
But his line was actually pretty short. It's crazy. It's
Really?
crazy how like like to me it baffles me how short some of these people's lines are. Like I don't know his real name. I can't think of his real name, but the guy who played Andy as a kid, his line was short as shit. And I was,
really?
Like he had his line. Like there was like two people in his line, and first of all he's short, but he was so freaking friendly, so awesome, so nice. I got his autograph, took a picture with him. I have it. I don't know where the hell it is. I have it somewhere around the house.
That's awesome.
And it was just like I was like, how the hell is he was in such an iconic movie. How the hell is this line so damn short? Do people not know who he is? Is that what the problem is? Like, what's going on?
I think it's just like is Halloween has such a following, and we found that out this year. Like just owning the shop, and in the push that people have when it comes to like Halloween. Like every time we do a toy show, or we're at a con, or we're doing something, or we're at like a late night grindhouse. It's people are always asking us about Halloween, and it's kind of crazy. And part of it's probably because the movie that just came out this year, but it just seems like the Halloween fans just seem to be so in depth.
They
man.
love it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, and not to say that they're wrong or anything like that.
No.
It's just we always would think it would be more like Jason or Freddy, but I mean, I swear we get more questions about Halloween.
People love him, man.
Yeah.
I can see that though. Because he's I consider him one of the big three as far as Jason, Michael, and Freddy.
I agree.
Yeah.
And like again, with the movie coming out, a lot of people are going back and watching the old ones. A lot of people are going to see the new one and shit. And I feel it would be the same way, like if a new Nightmare on Elm Street came out next year or a new Friday the 13th came out.
Yeah.
People
Exactly.
came out in theaters and all that good stuff. People would be like, "Oh wow, what do you guys have for Jason? What do you guys have for Freddy?" and da 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 and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, and you're probably right too. We just happened to open this year, so
Yeah.
this was the year of Michael Myers. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
totally.
That was something that like, and I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad it was so successful. And that's
This next year it might be Chucky. Who knows?
You never know. Chucky though, I don't see that ever going to theaters again. I'm not saying it couldn't, but I feel
think
like
the new one is.
you think the new one will.
I bet it does with all the hype that it gets. Because it's like a big Hollywood movie now.
I would love for a Chucky movie, a Child's Play movie, to go to theaters just so I can go see it in theaters. Like I didn't get a chance to see that. I didn't see I don't think I went and see Bride of Chucky or Seed of Chucky. I wasn't too interested in those. But a really well done Child's Play. I would love to go see something like that in theaters.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And that's as weird as it is because like I'm kind of against it in that sense with the zero involvement Don Mancini has and the fact that it is kind of like a robot, not necessarily a possessed doll. But I mean, if just being able to see a good guy doll in theaters, yeah, I'll absolutely go.
And now, speaking of the good guy dolls, did you guys all see the ones that they're going to be selling? I think next year, or did they already start selling them? They're like $500.
Yeah.
I sure did.
They look great, but they don't. I can't pay that much for that. I have my reasons. One, I can't afford it. That's my biggest reason. And two, like, if I feel like if I'm gonna pay $500 for something, I want it to at least walk around and chase me. Something. It has to do something. It has to scare people. It can't just sit in a
Until it
box.
does.
Yeah, it was something like because we've thought about getting for the shop
But man, it's just like, man, we want to make horror accessible to people.
Yeah.
A $500 doll is not, like, and that's cool that it looks cool. I don't know. I mean,
but there's really cool Chucky dolls that aren't that fucking expensive.
Oh, yeah.
They're week old.
Yeah.
Now, I know they're using, like, the original mold or whatever. I mean, if you can get it, go ahead and get it. I think it's freaking amazing. I'm not telling people not to get it, but
I agree.
I just know I can't get that. Now, if somebody wants to gift it to me, I do accept donations. I will not turn that down.
We can probably get you fucking one.
Yeah.
But it's just not going to be, necessarily a staple.
Yeah.
There'll be other Chucky stuff. Don't you worry.
Now, back to Jason.
Yeah. He'll rise again.
Yeah, he will. I can't wait for him to do that. But what would you guys? Well, no, I got two questions. One, what was your favorite kill in this movie? I got more than two questions. I'm lying. So I'll start with your favorite kills.
I liked when his head was knocked off.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I think I'd actually have to agree with that. The head knocking off is probably my favorite.
I like when that chick gets just straight pulled underwater. It was very like reptilian of him.
I'm surprised nobody said the sleeping bag one. I was gonna say the sleeping bag or when the doctor gets killed, just because.
Oh yeah.
I could not stand him. Real life, that dude is fucking amazing, hilarious, coolest dude in the world. We have no beef, but in that movie, we don't get along.
He totally lets Miss Shepherd take it too. Like puts her in front of him. Jason fucks her up.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and that's one thing I hated about it. And then my next question is, just from this movie, from part 7, favorite character, not including Jason. Least favorite character, not including Jason.
Favorite character, including Jason, for me would be Nick.
Nick.
And least favorite character, I can't remember her name, but who was the short-haired blonde girl? That was freaking mean as hell.
With the pearls.
Yeah.
I can't think the character name, but I think she was my least favorite.
I totally agree. She totally punked that dude. He had to go jerk off in the fucking shower. What a slut.
What about yours? What was your favorite and least? Her?
My least, yeah. I thought she was a fucking bitch.
Sandra? Is that her name, Sandra?
Yeah.
I think
can't remember.
Yeah, but she
I did like Tina, though.
Oh, yeah.
I like she had power. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if anything's going to match up against Jason, like, why not do some Carrie?
Fuck yeah, man.
That's a shout out to Carrie. You were talking about that earlier.
Hell yeah, man. It's totally a little love to the king.
What was yours?
Mine? Favorite was Tina. Least favorite, the doctor, and / that chick. But the doctor just... Because... Well, for one, I feel like the type of doctor he was, you wouldn't bring somebody out to that place where all that crazy shit happened and then try to figure out what the fuck's going on. You would do that in a safer environment. You do it in a better environment, trying to help her, not try to bring some shit out or powers out and then record it and trying to make a buck off of it. That's what he was doing. And then how he puts the mother in front of him and gets her killed.
Yeah.
Like,
Miss Shepherd took it.
That was, that was my main thing with him. But,
I would agree, though. I remember thinking that from the get-go because he was constantly pushing her, like, use your emotions. And I'm like, oh, my God, this dude, man.
Yeah, fuck that. He's crazy.
He is. He was. What else was I going to say? I know I was going to say a rating. Yeah. What's your guys' movie rating for this? How many Jason masks would you give this out of 10?
I would give it 6.5.
6.5 masks.
Because it's a very underrated, but there's a few that I like more. So
I would go with 7 Jason masks.
7?
Yeah, this movie was like, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen this one, but I feel like it's better than I remember. So I'll go with 7 Jason masks out of 10.
I can't. I don't think I've seen this one before, and like I said, I didn't get through all of it because my issues with my dog. So from what I saw, I would say a 6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Awesome.
And it's just one of my favorite ones. You know what? I'm actually gonna bump that up to a 9 because I think this is, as far as all the Jason movies, this is like the best looking Jason they've done. It just looks so freaking awesome, so amazing. The chain around his neck still, and just
his bony back coming out. That was pretty cool.
And the mask fucked up on the side. It was great. It was almost perfect for me. So yeah, definitely give it a 9.
Good. Cool.
Oh, yeah. That's cool as hell.
He's one of my favorite Jasons to be in the game as well.
Yeah, it's
as
fun.
This one. I like his kills. Just throwing that out there.
Hell yeah.
I agree with you on that. I like being the NES one sometimes too, just because the color and then the music.
Yeah.
Even though the music's a little different, but I get where they were going with it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So, you got anything else horror wise? Anybody?
Dude.
Or you guys
Live it. I'm living it. Anything.
I'm gonna have to actually jump off because.
All right. Well,
I will see you.
Yeah, well, we'll see you soon.
All right, I will see you guys soon.
Awesome, good.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
And how about you two lovely gentlemen?
Dude, all I got left to say is shop at the NightmareShopLLC.com for all the best horror merch you can find on the web.
Your gateway to horror and where all your nightmares come true.
And listen to Sir Sturdy.
Yes. Listen to all that. And hey, man, I appreciate you guys coming on again. Fun as hell. And I think, next time we get together, I'm not sure when. We could discuss that after we're done recording, actually. But I think we got to do Mandy next, that Mandy movie, because it's either going to be it's going to be a funny podcast either way. And I'm either going to be apologizing to Nicolas Cage, which I highly doubt, or talking a lot more shit. But we'll see.
Yep. Hell yeah, cool. That'd be fun. Let's do it.
Yeah, man.
We'll be there.
Appreciate you guys coming on again. I love that you guys come on whenever, and we got to do this more often. Thanks for coming on. And yeah, as he said, listen to Horror with Sir Sturdy. And if you ever want to be on the podcast, Horror with Sir Sturdy at about to give you my damn Podbean shit. Horror with Sir.Sturdy@gmail.com. Check out my Facebook group and pages, Horror with Sir Sturdy. The platforms I'm on, Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, I got to fix that one again, Spotify, Stitcher, and a bunch more. I'm also on YouTube, Twitch, which my Twitch is horror_Sir_Sturdy. If you guys are gamers, my PSN is Sir_Sturdy. And again, thanks for all the support from everybody. Definitely check out the Nightmare Shop. They have some dope shit at their shop. They're not lying. I'm not lying. Check out their Facebook page. Check out their LLC page. And, tell them I sent you. I'm not saying they'll hook you up, but they'll be nicer to you if you tell them I sent you.
We'll hook you up. We'll figure it out.
They'll see that? They'll hook you up. They'll figure it out. And on that note, I'll see you in your night.